guys, I'm Al, and today I'm drawing character designs based off of pride flags. Today I'll be doing the bi, lesbian, trans, and non-binary flags. The character I drew for the trans flag is a trans femme, so if I have time to make a video next week, I'll make a trans mask character as well. I'm also hoping to squeeze in a pan character and possibly an arrow character. Let me know if there are any other flags you'd like to see, and I apologize if I don't end up being able to do your suggestion, because after Pride Month, I'd like to stray away from the Pride videos, not because I don't think that there shouldn't be representation outside of Pride Month, but more because I have a lot of unrelated to Pride videos that I really want to do and have been delayed because I've been focusing on Pride videos, so yeah. Anyways, we're starting off with bi. For anyone who may not know, bisexuality is when a person is attracted to two or more genders. This does not exclude trans or gender non-conforming people, as a lot of misconceptions about the sexuality state. Being bi doesn't mean only men and women, and bisexuals can be attracted to more than just these two genders. Anyways, I'm proud of his design and how he came out, especially with me attempting to use the rendering tip I picked up from YouTube. The tip was to use a more saturated colors for highlights and shadows, and also make sure that you have opposing colors for shadows and highlights. Examples would be you could have a yellow light and a bluer shadow, or you could do a pairing of red and green, etc. It really makes everything stand out more. His outcome would definitely be my favorite if I cell shaded him like I did with the others, and I'll explain cell shading after I introduce the lesbian character. So, lesbians are non-males who are attracted to other non-men. As far as my knowledge goes, there's a different flag / micro-label under lesbianism that is women loving other women, which I'm under the assumption doesn't include gender non-conforming people, but may include trans women depending on a person and their comfortability. By non-men, stated in the definition before, I mean like women and gender non-conforming people. Also, please note that just because someone isn't attracted to gender non-conforming people doesn't mean that they don't support them. Of course, unless they just don't. But it suggests that they're not attracted to them, which is absolutely okay. The same goes for someone who may not feel comfortable dating a trans person, because if they want a relationship that goes a step above just romance, I assume you know what I'm talking about, they may not feel comfortable doing the thing with someone who has the opposite genitalia, which is also very much okay. It's okay to not be attracted to certain groups of people. You know, you see this all the time. And it doesn't automatically make someone who isn't attracted to these groups of people hateful. As long as you're respectful, you're fine. Moving on to the design, she's gotta be my favorite. She's the first one I tried cell shading for, and it made such a huge difference from my usual shading style. Like, oh my god. Cell shading is a commonly used shading technique where instead of shading going off the base color of whatever you're shading, you shade using a grayer tone. Or you shade without really paying much mind to the color. So, I did this by putting my shading layers to multiply, picking a warmer, cool gray based off of what I wanted the shading to be, and then I shaded the drawing without the color layer being visible. I set each separate layer to the opacity I wanted, and that's how I shaded it. And then I basically did the same for the highlight layers, but instead I had the base color layer visible and I set my highlight layers to add. So now, time for trans. Trans people are people whose gender doesn't align with their assigned sex at birth. Sex and gender are two different things, one being based on genetics, and the other being a social construct. There are 3 sexes. Most commonly known are male and female, but there are also intersex people. These are people who are born with a mix of both male and female traits. They're pretty rare, and when an intersex person is born, the parents of the child will usually be asked which sex they'd like their child to live as. There are a whole lot of gender labels out there, moving on to gender. So people can pick the one that makes them feel the most comfortable, or not have a label at all, because some people just prefer not to associate with labels, and that's okay. Although, because someone's gender is really just dependent on how they feel, it can be practically anything. Although there are some pretty ridiculous gender identities / preferred pronouns out there, which I feel like gives others in the community a bad rep. The label trans is most commonly referring to people who transition from male to female or vice versa, but I think it's also used as an umbrella term for other gender labels for people whose gender doesn't align with their sex, hence the definition. Design-wise, I think she's a cute character, but I don't think I pulled it off as well as I could have liked. I especially struggled with trying to make the sleeves look baggy while trying to keep the initial pose because her sleeves are baggy. But lastly, we have non-binary. Non-binary people are gender non-conforming people, usually going by they/them pronouns, which, yes, do work grammatically correct in a sentence. Anyone who knows basic grammar should know this. Just pointing out all of the transphobe whatnot that say that it doesn't work grammatically correct in a sentence. Anyways, people who identify as non-binary fall under the trans umbrella term. I don't really have anything else to say about it, so we'll move on to the character design. I also feel like I could have executed their design better, but I still like them. When I was drawing them, I realized that I drew all of the other characters with their eyes closed. I was gonna draw them with their eyes open anyways, but that was kind of an oops moment. I tried to also add diversity in the characters' skin tones, so I hope I did well with that. Before I end the video, here's the characters' full body designs that I sketched out on paper. I didn't really try to define their body shapes or whatnot, just quick sketches of what their overall design would look like. Also, please don't mind NB's eyes in this, they didn't turn out very well. Anyways, please correct me if I gave out any misinformation. Or, if you have any cool facts that I didn't mention, please comment them. I'd love to learn more. The same goes with my art. I'm open to polite critique and constructive criticism because I would really like to improve my art. I also will not be accepting any hate comments, like homophobia, rudeness, transphobia, so if you comment anything like that, it will be deleted. But anyways, here's the final product. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!